Topic time.
Ladies, lads, listeners, that is right. We have made it to the topic, the final segment of the show. And we have a juicer. I'm sure all of you listeners have probably already heard about this over on Twitter or Facebook or wherever you read about gaming arguments. But this is a big one. So here it goes. Helldivers 2 and other PlayStation games on PC will soon require a PlayStation account to be tied to their Steam account. This is a mandatory change starting May 30th, which will heavily impact PC players. Helldivers 2 has since seen a massive spike in negative reviews amidst players threatening to attempt to refund the game because of it. Now, this is very similar to stuff we've seen in the past. Uplay, Origin, Battle.net. Say like you'd buy Rainbow Six Siege on Steam, go to boot it, it would open up Uplay, and you'd have to have a Uplay account to then play Siege. You wouldn't actually be opening it through Steam, you'd be opening it through something else. This isn't the same, but a lot of people seem to be worried as if it is. This is basically, we discussed it last episode, it's just people are kicking off about it now. It's the shift tab screen that you get on Steam. There's just going to be a PlayStation 1, and you're going to have to be logged in. The thing people don't like is that, for one, this wasn't required at launch. It's something they're just forcing on Helldivers players now. People aren't happy about that. And PSN isn't available in all countries. So some Helldivers players won't be able to create a PSN account. Granted, they could just lie and say they're from somewhere else, which everyone's been doing for their accounts for the last 20 years. So this is quite messy, but I'm not sure what you guys think about this. Obviously, Davey, you're not really a part of the PC space. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you have any knowledge on what this could even mean?
At first, no. At first, I didn't. I've done a tiny bit, only because I thought I know who's going to have something to say about this. Pilestadt, the head guy who's leading fucking Helldiver Studio, went on his Twitter while we took a little bit of a break. I had a look, and you're right. The review scores are just getting absolutely hammered, and he says in there, "Ouch." He's like, ouch, really, really sorry, this has impacted those. And then he put out another one, right, another tweet, which then links to a PlayStation support article about this. And I'll get into that in a moment. But first, I think, as you say, it doesn't impact me. So it's quite hard for me to feel outraged for something that I really don't give a shit about. Also, I'm under the wrong pretense. I know this is wrong. But for me, I like having a PlayStation account, right? The Steam account means nothing to me. If I could link it up and I can see my trophies and I can see my friends on PlayStation, of course I'm going to love that, right? Because I'm a PlayStation guy. So I find it quite hard to relate to the outrage because for me it would be a benefit being able to link them. But for everyone else, I can get it because it's another step, another thing you have to fuck around with for no reason.
How about this? Let me rephrase it for you, Davey.
Sure.
Obviously, we have Xbox games coming over to PlayStation now. What if you need to create an Xbox account to be able to play those games, and it's mandatory, you're forced to do it, and then it has its own kind of thing where it has its own party chat? So, I mean, you can still use the PlayStation party chat. So I'm not sure why people are kicking off too much about this, but you end up earning achievements rather than trophies, or you earn both even. I think that's probably how it's going to work. You end up earning both, so you'll get an achievement pop and the trophy pop at the same time. Will you care about that? Will you care about the Xbox side of things?
No, I'll just do it. Like it wouldn't bother me. It's the same way that, when we play Apex, and it was like, create an Apex account because this is going to be your sole account so that you can play this on every single device. You got to sign up for fucking EA access, whatever it is, the EA account thing. I was like, yeah, I'll sign up for it. No worries. It takes 2 minutes. It's done once. Like, I don't see what the big deal is personally. The thing is that when you have to do this for so many different services, it can be annoying. And I get that. Like, having to do it for Ubisoft is annoying. Having to do it for EA is annoying. But it's just a step. It's the same as like when you're shopping on anything or any product now. I honestly don't see what the impact is in having to do something one time. I just don't get it. Because it's all saved on there, so it'd be auto login. I don't see the problem, personally. I don't see why filling out a form which takes 30 seconds one time is a massive ask for people. I get what you're saying, though, in terms of it's not available everywhere. And we know how fucking fucked up this account creation stuff can be, and Phil is testament to that. So I get that side of it. I do get that. And I understand that, and I think that's a valid criticism. But in terms of actually just filling out a fucking form just to play a game, just do it one time and just fucking forget about it. What's the big deal? Like, what are you going to do the rest of your time? You're just fucking sitting there wanking to hentai porn while you're fucking eating what sits in front of your keyboard. Like, it takes 30 seconds. It's not a big deal.
That's a hell of a stereotype considering the only two PC players he knows is us. That is outrageous.
Accurate, though,
hell.
And I don't like What's-Its.
I don't like
Don't you?
What's-Its.
No. What's wrong with you boys?
Unless they're flaming hot or prawn cocktail. Or the What's-Its crunchies. Those bang. Especially
There
with
you
the
go.
extra flaming hot.
Building up now, innit?
There we are. But cheesy What's-Its get in the bin. Anyway, I digress. Phil, over to you, mate. What are your thoughts on all of this?
Well, Spence, I'm glad you asked. Now, from a business point of view, this makes complete sense. And we were talking earlier about Sony's push for their own, basically, social media, where they're trying to tie everybody together and make it just much more accessible to play PlayStation games and get everything kind of linked together, be that on PC, be that on PlayStation. Wherever you want to consume PlayStation, you're going to have that constant link. And it's something in the past Sony have always been terrible at. So I am quite thankful they're pulling their finger out and getting shit done. But from a consumer's point of view, I can understand why there is this wave of negativity when you're introduced to this new system where you've got to jump through a hurdle, unneedingly jump through a hurdle, because previously you haven't. Now, I feel like they've dropped the ball with this one around Helldivers. Now, I don't think they expected Helldivers to be as popular as maybe it is, and that's maybe why they delayed this rollout. But what the wise thing would have been to do is have this on day one with Helldivers. So they've messed up in that respect. But as I said, I don't think they expected Helldivers to pop as big as it actually has. Now, for me, I can see the benefits of this, because you've got the added aspects of achievements that you would get on PlayStation. You've got our PlayStation chat if you choose to use it. And as I said, as a PlayStation player, if I'm jumping on PC to have a few games and I'm playing playing Helldivers, maybe I go multi-console with the platform, it just ties everything together. It links it all. I can play with you. I can play with my brother. Wherever I am, I'm tied into that ecosystem. But as a PC player at heart and a purist PC player, yeah, it's so annoying, and I can understand why they're basically rioting. Because what else can they do? They can go on and they can review bomb it, and that's what they've been doing. They can go on and they can talk shit on Twitter. That's what's happening. But I think it'll quickly calm down, and I don't think they're going to be asking for as many refunds as maybe they're threatening, because Helldivers 2 is a superb game. And once they get that refund, you goddamn know it, they'll be back, because it's class, that game. I cannot wait to play it. I've been out a month. I haven't played it for a month. I'm itching to play it again. So these people, they're going to feel the itch and they'll rebuy it. So I'm not worried about the sales for Helldivers, but I think overall it is a positive thing, and it will get people to invest in Sony and in the Sony ecosystem.
Well said, mate. Well said. I don't think it's going to really get people into the ecosystem too much. I think people are settled where they are. I think no one really likes switching about, getting new stuff. Everyone is comfortable. I just don't see the negatives of all of this, really, other than obviously some countries it's not available. But my YouTube account thinks I'm like 45 because I lied. Everyone lied. When I was a kid, when I was making accounts, I just lied.
What kind of porn do you need to be 45?
Well, my YouTube account, mate. There's no porn on YouTube. What, are you crazy?
I'm pretty sure there is.
You can watch naked yoga, but that's about as far as it goes, I'm pretty sure. But
Searching that later.
45.
Yeah, but
it's on there, mate. It's on there.
He probably set up his YouTube account when he was 10. So like 15
Yeah,
years
exactly.
later, he probably
Probably.
put
Makes
it in as
sense.
30. And then now that's like 40, 46 or whatever. You know, he probably put in the birthday at 1980. Thought, yeah, that'll do. That's old enough. And then now he's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
52-year-old man.
Yeah.
All the marketing and advertisements are towards a 50-year-old
They're
man.
all just erectile dysfunction stuff. All the time. That's all he's getting. That and hair loss
Don't leak
treatment.
it. Don't leak it. Wait. Well, I got thick hair. It's fine.
I was going to say, your hair's really dark, isn't it?
Yeah. But just lie. Just lie. I've got a Romanian Steam account because I can buy games on that account for way less money than I just family share it to my actual account. Just lie. I don't see where the actual issue is. Like you said, David, the form's going to take 30 seconds. You link it and it's done. And all it's going to be doing is giving players more features. They might get picture-in-picture, which is one of the best features we've ever had. And our party chats, we might actually be able to screen share to PC players, which we can't with the Discord integration at the moment. So it's just added features.
Do you know what I hope from all this?
Go on.
And you'll probably say, Phil, you're miles off on this one. I just hope Sony are sorting out their back office. I really do. I hope they're sorting out all this kerfuffle about accounts. And I hope they solve my problems. Because for people who are just joining the show, because I haven't complained about it recently, I have an American account and I find it very difficult because all my trophies are on this one platinum account and one US account, and then I have to have a UK account to download any DLC. So I run on 2 accounts. So it's a massive mismatch of confusion, and it shouldn't have been this way. And many times both of you lads have kind of advised me to drop the US account and move over to the UK account, but I'm stubborn. And I'm sure there's lots of people out there who are stubborn, who want to stick on their original account. So hopefully, by the means of them looking at their back office, looking at this social media, bringing all the accounts together, they just make them worldwide accounts. They just think, do you know what? We're not going to have country accounts anymore. We're just going to blur the lines and every account is equal. That's what I want.
I would agree with you, but I think they need the regional accounts for the servers so it knows which server to place you in. And we can't have a worldwide server with everyone on.
There's more elegant
PC does that.
solutions. Yeah,
Yeah.
like YouTube does it as an account thing, and then you got to put all your tax details and all that in. There are better solutions, and there are solutions for it. It's just it is low priority. That's the only issue. I'd hope so, mate. I'd hope so for your sake and for the potentially, for all I know, millions of people around the world that are in the similar situation. You know, you just move country and you're fucked. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, and literally, say I moved and I just went to, I don't know, fucking Mexico, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in Mexico now, great stuff. Oh, I'm just fucked. I just can't do anything now. It's like, brilliant. Cheers. Thanks a fucking lot, PlayStation. I really appreciate that.
It's very much an old school thought, isn't it? And I think having like accounts tied to countries, basically it was all connected to release dates, wasn't it? So you couldn't have a certain game if you were in a certain, geography. But now everything releases the same time and we don't have those problems as much as we did in the olden days, you know? Like I've told you many a story where I had US games months ahead of the UK market, but that doesn't happen anymore. US and UK, it's day for day. We get everything universal these days, or the majority anyway.
No, you're exactly right, and it doesn't make sense, and it is antiquated. But I do have a little bit of extra sauce that if you guys want to know about this. So, as I said, Parstat tweeted out, and he said about if you want to know anything about this, look on the support pages. The problem is there's a bit of misinformation here on one of these. We don't know which one. So, on Sony's one, for all about this topic, frequently asked questions. Do I have to sign into PSN to play a PlayStation game on PC? Signing into PSN is optional when playing a PlayStation game on PC. That's from Sony. On Steam, for the Helldivers page, it says, as of May 6th, all new Helldivers 2 players on Steam will be required to connect their Steam account to a PlayStation Network account. Current players on Steam will start to see the mandatory login from May 30th and will be required to have linked a Steam and PlayStation Network account by June 4th. PlayStation Network accounts are free and easy to set up using this link. This is where the problem is. One of them is wrong. I imagine it's the Steam page out of the two. Because if Sony's setting the rule and they're saying it's this, and it's in an FAQ that it's optional, that's black and white the rule. Steam are then interpreting that for each individual game and their thing. So I can see where things could get crossed here. But if the rule is from PlayStation, it's a PlayStation account, they're telling you about linking it, they're saying it's an optional thing, I'm going to put my bread in their basket. If it was Steam that were mandating this, and then Sony were reading the rules, I would trust the Steam, but it's not. It's PlayStation 2 Steam. So I would stick to that. But all I would say is, for those who are listening to this episode by the time it goes out, this will be cleared up. I can fucking guarantee you this will all be cleared up. And we'll know which one of these sides has shit the bed, because one of them has. But yeah, I'm thinking that Sony are in the right with this, and as soon as they've fucking set the rule, it makes sense.
There's a lot of money on the table here, so obviously it'll get sorted very, very swiftly. Yeah. I think there'll be an official announcement, which will be gospel, and that's what everyone will have to do. It'll be clarified because, as you said, there is confusion depending on where you're looking at this argument from, and I'm sure we've even muddied the water after our arguments, okay? Because if Sony are saying one thing, Steam are saying another. Why, like, in my opinion, why doesn't the guy from Helldivers just come out and just clarify it? Because ultimately, he's losing the most out of this.
Well, he did. So he came out and he said, look at this support page. And then, you know what it's like.
Yeah, but that's ambiguous. That is so ambiguous. Yeah, just look at the support page.
But no.
He's losing big money.
He linked it, and it's got the fulls, it all here. With the FAQ, it's not hidden. It's right there in FAQs. Do I have to sign into PSN to play a PlayStation game on PC? Optional, right? The issue is that Twitter then, with community notes, has community noted it with the Steam article showing that. So I'm going on a limb here to say that I reckon the Steam article is wrong. I reckon they've interpreted the rules as wrongly. Personally, if it's in an FAQs all about how to sign into PSN when playing a game on PC. If it's in there, that's it. Like, that's the fucking rule, lads. Like,
always a PlayStation loyalist, aren't you?
I do this for
let's
a job.
Let's put a shot on it then. Let's put
right.
a shot on it, because I believe it's the other way. I genuinely do. I think it's more that Steam is right here.
How many shots you want?
Oh my god.
Well, just the one, I think.
Oh,
we're not going crazy on this.
Oh, we can.
What do you think, Spence? What side of the fence are you on? Because I'm on Steam's side here. I think it is, from what I've read, and I haven't read a great deal around this outside what was put in the doc, but I'm saying that they're going to make people sign up to these accounts. It makes sense to all the news we've been hearing lately.
All right, we switched to speculation now, but the side I'm on, I'm actually in between you both. Because I think...
Best place to be.
Yeah, of course, mate. Warm. I think all the PlayStation games on PC that are single player, sure, it's optional. But Helldivers 2 is an online-only game. And I think that one will be mandatory. So I'm in the middle of both of you. I think it's going to be optional for all of the single-player titles, but any online-only games, you're going to have to do it to be on the servers.
Time will tell. Phil, I will take your shot, and I will see that bet. And I'm sure that virtual handshake, I'm sure that we'll know by the next time we record, because I'm sure this will get sorted out the next couple of days.
Before we end it, just one last thing. For all you listeners, if anyone is review bombing it, this isn't Arrowhead's fault. It's Sony. It's PlayStation. They're implementing this, and they're forcing it on Arrowhead because it's one of their games. Don't review bomb Helldivers. It's not Arrowhead's fault at all. That's it.
Well said, Spencer. Well said indeed.